The 4 magazine, Detroit, baby, we out here. You see what's going on, we activated, we ain't playing no games.
Now, I did want to kind of go back or whatever, because we talked about Young Thug in terms of the videos that was, the audio that was released, and him talking about the QCPs, Gucci, and a host of other people. However, the actual 2-hour testimony, you know, or recording of him actually,
they didn't force him or have to coerce him to have the conversation. He reached out to them. He volunteered the conversation,
which was shocking because, and I kind of want to say this, because what I'm starting to realize, and my observation is, it's the people that wake up every day that's preaching. Right, I'm talking about, it ain't even got to be nothing going on in the media that requires you to make posts about snitching.
Rats. Yeah,
it seemed like the I hate rats people be the ones that be snitching.
Yeah, because trying to cover it up.
And that was the shocker
for me. It's Freudian. It's psychological.
Or even with you know, I say the LBGT, like, you ever heard the saying, if you turn your head and you always talking about those type of people, you low key.
You fighting some demons. You either on that tip or you fighting demons in your own mind, in your own heart, because you really want to get into it, but you masquerading it by saying you extremely anti this.
Exactly.
No, nigga, you really want to put a cock in your mouth. That's really what you want to do.
And so that was the shocker with Young Thug. Speak on actually listening to that and like the backlash that he getting in terms of, you know, Rollo, YSL, Woody. Well, he don't go by that no more.
Rollo. So let's Rollo. You can't absolve yourself of what you were accused of doing. You don't lessen the impact of what it was you tried to do by keeping it juicy. That doesn't absolve you of breaking the so-called hood cardinal sin by pointing out that he did it too. No, you still are what you are, and you still have to stand on your ding as it specifically relates to how you played it, right? But of course they're gonna grab a hold to it because these same people like Thug was so critical. Lil Boosie was so critical. Baby took up, we know that Baby took up Thug's, he carried his water while he was locked up. So he went out of his way to talk about Gunner and to talk about a variety of different other people about who he didn't fuck with and Dog being a rat and this, that, and the third, right? But breaking news, bro. Lil Baby has somebody extremely close to him by the name of Steve. Ask around. Steve is one of the biggest snitches in the history of Atlanta, period. And he's like this with Baby, and Baby knows he snitched. So it was hypocritical, disingenuous, and flat out bullshit when Baby started to attack Gunna. You ain't got to wait because you got a rat motherfucker next to you for the entire, before you even became a rap star. You had a rat motherfucking Steve who was next to you, moved with you, traveled with you, and fuck with you to this very fucking day. Who told and testified on motherfuckers in Atlanta. So it's a bunch of shit that motherfuckers don't know because people who are not from Atlanta, they look at these stars. But the bigger question is, whoever said these niggas was anything other than rappers? The problem with the shock is because black people as a whole, we place too much emphasis and too much credibility on what a motherfucker got and who a motherfucker's supposed to be. Whoever said that when did fucking rappers become Martin Luther King, Medgar Evers, Joanne Chesimard, Afeni Shakur, Saleh Shakur? When these motherfuckers ever become the Black Panthers of the black community? They're not spokespeople. Most of the rappers are the people, the athletes and people who operate in the world of entertainment. Most of the motherfuckers dumb as a box of goddamn rocks. Whoever appointed, the problem is black people, we look at people's success and then we automatically start to appoint these people with a higher level of intellect, and the nigga dumb as a box of goddamn rocks. We automatically say because he has a bigger car or more jewelry or more access to fly around and do shit, we automatically attach, we equate that with that success must mean that he's smart enough and wise enough to be, since he accumulated that, that means he's better than a regular rank and file motherfucker.
Right.
So therefore, we're willing to put more weight behind what they say. Most of these rappers dumb as a motherfucker.
Yeah.
They never supposed to be pointed to be that.
And the misnomer is simple, man. Anytime you find out what your gift is and you dive into your gift, it's a natural law of the universe to reward you for that.
Yeah.
So all you really need is just hard work, dedication towards your gift to fulfill your purpose, not necessarily saying that you're worthy to be idolized as a god.
Yeah, but listen, even with what you just said, I'm fully aware and I understand it. But black people now, they have been so successfully brainwashed and misled, miseducated and undereducated. So much so that we don't even recognize the obvious for what it is. We like to be lied to. We like to be misled. We like to be entertained. We like to believe in whatever whimsical fantasy island ass shit that motherfuckers create, because in our minds, we want to be just like that. We want to have that status. We want to be acknowledged like that. That's why celebrities, more often times than not, can get away with something that a regular rank and file nigga can't get away, which is why the main conversation is, how is 6ix9ine a rat? How is Woody a rat? How is Charleston White a rat? How is Gunner a rat? How is Rollo a rat? But when it comes to Thug, nobody really wants to say it. The only people who are really calling Thug a rat are the people who have been exposed, allegedly, of being rats themselves. And they're mad and angry and upset because they didn't get the same benefit of the doubt that motherfuckers are giving Thug. Motherfuckers giving Thug that benefit of the doubt because Thug come from a background of spanking shit. And and he's free now. So even though he's not allowed to come back to Atlanta until 2088, motherfuckers don't want to chance it.
Yeah.
So they're gonna bite their tongue. But Young Thug wasn't the most dangerous person in Atlanta. And if you think about it, all the rats that we learned about coming out of the YFL trial, they're free now. They're free. They're running around being interviewed. They're on podcasts. They living their normal lives. So that tells you, and that's not a condemnation or a criticism of Atlanta, because we got rats everywhere.
Yeah.
Right? But when you think about all the people that we discovered was bold in the YSL trial, all those guys are home now. They're walking around. And the people who they told on are seeing them because they from Atlanta. They seeing each other. They bumping into each other in the clubs. They bumping into each other at the hookah bars. They bumping into each other at Linux, exclusive game, Phipps. They bumping into each other and they seeing each other. And they ain't doing shit. That should tell. That should tell people who look up or aspire to be that, right? That should tell people who have bought into the whole gangster image, this shit or that shit ain't what motherfuckers think it is.